This is Irving Fain, co-founder and CEO of CrowdTwist's, straight off the stage from IAB Innovation Days at Internet Week. Can you describe CrowdTwist and what problem it solves for the marketplace?
Sure. CrowdTwist is a social loyalty and rewards platform that engages and activates a brand's audience wherever the brand is, both online and offline. So we're built on the premise that every brand's ecosystem today is significantly larger than just their website. You've got a Facebook page, a Twitter feed, email list, your site, where people are buying in store, online, a YouTube channel, all these different points where audience is spending time with your brand. And so every brand is asking themselves the question, how do I keep my audience active and engaged across all these platforms, let alone really understand who my biggest supporters are? So what CrowdTwist is able to do is track, incentivize, and ultimately reward consumer engagement with the brand across all of these different platforms.
What does that mean for the actual consumer experience of CrowdTwist? How would a consumer...
So we're a white labelable platform that plugs into a brand's site and experience. It takes on their brand aesthetic. And the idea is it's really a rewards program. And it can be in any form a brand wants it to be, but you come in and you sign up to earn some type of reward related to the brand. And we're really focused on real tangible rewards because we don't really believe in the power of just purely virtual rewards. And that could be non-monetary rewards like experiences, access, status, or it could be things that are traditionally tied to loyalty like discounts or free goods. But we look at loyalty really as a marketing technique that's desperately in need of innovation. And old school loyalty thinks of itself as saying, well, you need to reward the user at the point of transaction. So when I go to the cash register or I go to the shopping cart online, I'm spending money and that's what you need to reward. But the reality is there's all this branded interaction happening today on social networks, via email and all these different channels that's going unmeasured, unrewarded, unmonitored, and we're trying to tie that all together into a single system.
And it's the consumer that would be tying it together to some degree with their actions?
So the idea is you connect your accounts to this program, and it's all opt-in information, which is important for us. So you don't have to connect anything that you don't want to. You connect your Facebook, you connect your Twitter, you earn points for doing that, and then you can earn points for your actions related to your connections. But if you didn't want to connect anything and you just wanted to earn points for buying or for your email actions, you could do that as well. It's really up to the consumer how deeply and how far they want to go.
So it's more like the consumer is rolling it up than necessarily a marketer sitting there with a, chart that has every single platform on it.
Well, that's what's powerful about our platform is we've centralized everything into one place. So you put this platform to work for your brand, and it can be used in a more holistic sense for an end-to-end loyalty program. It can also be used to power a more sticky and engaging finite campaign. But once the software is deployed, all the connections, all the tracking, all the actual rewarding happens through our system. So all the brand needs to do is market the program itself, and that can be done through social channels, paid media, really any way that they want to do it.
This sounds like a really powerful idea, but I'm wondering what challenges you're facing in the marketplace with adoption.
What's exciting and what's fantastic is everybody we talk to, and the momentum just continues, kind of listens to what we're doing, and they start nodding their head and they say, yes, like this is something that we need. Because more and more, and I mentioned this on stage, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, it was kind of this recognition of, oh, I've got this website and my website's important too. And we've now moved to this world where I've got Facebook and I've got Twitter and I've got my email campaigns, and all of these are important in their own right. And what marketers and brands are realizing is they're spending money and they're spending time on all these different platforms, but they don't understand how their users are engaging then across all these different platforms. And that's the problem we're trying to solve. So I think really what it is some folks are more interested in jumping in and saying, let's go do this. Other folks are a little bit more timid and say, well, we want to see it in action or we want to feel it out more. But everybody who hears this says, yes, that makes complete sense to me.
And you're headquartered here in New York City, I understand?
We are based in New York, which is a great place to be as a tech company right now.
That's what I was going to ask. Why New York?
I think there's no better place as a technology company than to be in New York right now. Just the ecosystem is exploding, the amount of companies, the innovation from the investment side. I mean, for us, it's great because so many phenomenal brands and agencies are based here in New York as well. It's New York City, right? What do you have to say more than that?
Last question, with the theme today of the future of display, beyond what you do on a day-to-day basis, what do you think will be, an incredibly pervasive new functionality or format to come out in the next year that will really take the stage?
Because we're not as much in that deep ad tech world, I don't think I can tell you what ad format's going to explode in the next year, but what I can say is that to our strategy, this idea that you have to now engage and pay attention to customers in many different places, that's going to become more and more important to people. Because just in the same way people want to start to understand what does my display ad dollars actually mean, people want to understand what do my Twitter dollars or even my Twitter time and energy, what is that yielding and what does that mean? What is the time and energy I'm putting into Facebook? What does that mean? And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to put context to all this time, energy, and dollars that are being spent on these different platforms.
Great. I said that was my last question, but I actually have one more. The one thing that I have been really wanting to know is it's kind of a game atmosphere, right? Why did you choose to go a game route?
So for us, what's really critical is there are elements of game mechanics in what we do, and we use game mechanics because they can be incredibly powerful to encourage engagement. So something as simple as a leaderboard, and just to see how do I rank across the rest of the program, can encourage somebody to say, let me do a little bit more, let me engage a little bit further because I want to move up. So we have elements of game mechanics because at the end of the day, it makes being an advocate or a fan of a brand more fun. And when people are having more fun, that's good for the user, and that's ultimately good for the brand as well. But it's not a game in and of itself. It's much more rooted in this idea of social loyalty and rewards.
Great. Thank you very much.